He just mentioned one I think it's very good question. Can your business incorporate expenses to cost? Well, for some people say, what's the same thing, right? $1 here, $1 here is the same thing. Same number here. However, for management purposes, it's different. For management purposes, it's different. It's very important because the number from your revenue deduct your cost. This number, we say this is a gross profit, right? And that's a very important number there. Very important number there. Because you want to evaluate whether or not this product line is worth it to keep. Understand? So there is another course we did not teach here. It's called cost accounting. We don't teach here. But that's very important. If you are the manager and your business keep multiple product line, say for example Cisco, thousands product line, right? I believe 2 or 3 years ago, Cisco merge Flip, and eventually at that time Flip is a very good company. I thought it's a very good company. But after Cisco merged that, the business become very bad. We don't know what the reason is, but the performance becomes so bad. So if you are the manager, you work for Cisco, you need to evaluate this product line. So this is the number you want to see. So at that moment, it's very important. You want to do some kind of analysis, right? Expenses mean your salary, your building cost, your equipment. This is expenses here. But the cost mean labor, materials. So you want to allocate some expenses from the general number to each specific product line. So that's important. Okay, for your analysis purposes, you want to convert from expenses to here, even though the bottom line is the same. However, for analysis reason, you want to do that. That's called cost accounting. Very good questions. The bottom line is still the same. So for the financial purposes, financial accounting is okay. You put that number, $1 here, $1 here, same result here. But for your analysis, it's very, very important. You want to see whether or not each product line is still profitable. Is here. So answer to his questions, yes. Not only necessary, not only whether or not. Yes, you can do it, and sometimes it's necessary. You have to do it. Otherwise, you never know. While overall, your company make profit, but you never know which product line losing money. And for those product line, if you're losing money, you may consider to spin off. Say, we'll sell it out. We want to keep it. We don't want to keep it. Or you want to figure out any way to improve it. Got the idea? Yes?
Dr. Kong, there is a bit confusion. Can you see the page 119?
Yes, sure. Oh, we have not go to there yet.
Oh,
your question, one first. We have not go to the chapter, but let me. Yeah, talk about your questions.
You go to the page 119 to exit 3.2.
Yeah.
And can you compare that table
Yes.
with what you wrote on the whiteboard? I'm a little bit confused now.
Yeah. Okay, which part?
Take the assets example.
Yeah.
Is the DR means debit, right? Credit means CR means
Maybe I put it the wrong side. Okay, sorry about that. This only thing I just corrected. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Then this solve your problem. Just that's all. But anyway, let me correct myself. I just changed this. So the reason why I make a confused because I put it the wrong side. That's all. Okay. Once I correct it, then everything makes sense. Thanks a lot. Okay. Sorry about that. As I say, this kind of thing doesn't mean anything. Only designate, So let me correct myself. It explains a lot. Okay. DR, debit to the left. CR, credit to the right. That's all. Okay, then solve your problem, right? So sorry about that. Just let me correct everybody, okay? So DR on the left, CR on the right. So usually I don't try to remember that. So as I say, you know, DR, CR, DB, CR usually mean nothing. Only one is left or one is right. So once I correct this, then I believe I straight out. Yeah, page 119. Assuming you are using the fifth edition, okay, just upside down, then it's solve the problem. Okay, let's go to chapter. I have a few numbers I need to go over. If you have book. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. What do you calculate the regular tickets?
Oh, okay. Let me give you one example, okay? Very soon. Before that, I want to go to one item here. Okay. On your page 58, duality. Okay, remember I said for each transaction you need to remember there's a bottom line rule is for each transaction this transaction will affect at least two accounts, sometimes three. Alright? That is called duality. Okay. So let's go back to your questions. How about liability? Let's assume liability. In the book there's one example. But I just make it very simple. Say you start your own business, right? On day one, you transfer $200 cash from your personal to your business. So we've done that already. How about right now? Okay. Opposite this example. Right now, you want to buy something. You want to buy inventory. Okay. You want to buy inventory number 2, and the purchase price is $500. $500, and same thing, 30 days payment. So when you read this very short message, right? Your company purchased and the inventory already delivered to your warehouse, already delivered. You got it, and you double check. Okay, you have a QA, QC, everything is qualified. So you accept the shipment and put in your warehouse. Okay. So for this transaction, tell me 2 accounts involved. There are 2 accounts. On this side. Account payable, right? And what about the other one? Here. Inventory. And you say inventory number 2 because for big company, you have hundreds, you have millions inventory, okay? You have millions inventory. So inventory is only the general name, but you need to specify this is the inventory number 2, okay? Let's do it. Right here, inventory number 2, because we give the name here. Here, right now we give the right thing. Alright, so which one you want to go first? Doesn't matter. Let's go to account payable first. So you have a $500 account payable, right? And from 0 to 500, right? So from 0 to 500 is increase. Got it? And this is the liability. So when it increase, which side you want to put? Right side or left side? inventory is assets, right? And don't be surprised, it's also increase. Because item 2 assuming from 0 to 500. So increase here, it's okay. Because this increase is on the opposite. So it's a debit here. So increase. So one is on the right, one is on the left. So 500. So we have this balance. Right? So for those of you sitting here, I would say 90% probably you will not go into the accounting field. You just want to read the result. So for this detail, you don't really care. But in your mind, you know what happened to them. So by the end of the month, you only see the income statement. You want to see. Oh, by the way, right now we know what is the balance sheet for, right? Balance sheet is tell everybody, tell the reader, say how much assets you have, how much liability you owe to, and how much equity belong to the owner. And the income statement is tell you, number one, how much sales. Some people say sales equivalent to revenue. You heard about that? People say, oh, your monthly sales. Monthly sales mean your gross revenue. All right. We will talk about that in the following chapter. And you have a cost of goods, so you have expenses. As a manager, of course, right? You want to reduce your cost. You want to reduce your expenses. So that's the reason why. Let's take Apple as an example. Apple probably right now is the top #1 company, not only in the United States, probably in the whole world. When we say it's top #1, mean the company make profit. So that's the reason why if you are old enough, okay, you know probably more than 12 years ago, the stock of Apple dropped at $10 because during that period Steve Jobs left the company. Eventually Steve Jobs was kicked out, from the company. So while during that period, Apple stock dropped like $10, and everybody worried about the company may close down because at that moment Apple lost the case to Microsoft. Microsoft won the case, say Microsoft can use Windows because the concept of Windows is from Apple. But at that moment, unfortunately to Apple lost this case. So that's why the whole company faced very, very big difficulty. No any product there because nobody buy, or very little people buy, still use Macintosh. A lot of users switched to Windows. And Steve Jobs was not at company. $10. And right now it's how much? 400? I don't know, I didn't follow that.
Before, actually, it was more.
So if you buy $10 right now, I don't know, it's 50 times more than that. So as a manager, you will consider create your revenue maximum. So that's why the product from Apple, they're not cheap. The same item, they can market a lot than their competitor. #1 issue as a manager, you want to create maximum your revenue. The same item, of course not same item, the same function, you sell more. Same item, you're outsourcing to China, reduce your manufacturing and reduce your expenses. But here, you need to be very careful about this. You don't want to cut your expenses too much and become another Walmart. Walmart is a very good company because they make profit, but people criticize it because they pay very little to their employee. So sometimes if you pay too little, then you hurt someone. So here is kind of the balance. So that's the reason why people say, oh, good thing to Trader Joe. Because this company, even though they want to control the expenses, but they treat people fair, right? Some people say Costco is even better than Walmart because they pay a little bit better. So when we control expenses, we need to be very, very careful because two different type theory. Walmart theory is they cut to your bone. They cut to your bone, you know. The reason why they can make profit is because they cut you. And another theory is, well, even though we need to control the expenses, but we want to control reasonable. We want to control to reasonable level, so everybody's fair. Right, so another issue is here, social issue. Okay, this is social issue. So this is an example, right? We have a liability coming in. Right? Any questions so far? Okay, we want to go to the first ratio, because when we talk about financial accounting, we are not just talking about financial accounting, okay? We're not just talking about accounting. We also talk about finance. I believe some of you also taking finance, right? Finance is very difficult, very tough course, okay? Here, I believe that is on my page, page 71. Again, assuming you are using the fifth. The first one, eventually everything is in the back, okay? I believe all of those ratio is on your back page here. They are almost like 25 ratio here, okay? So we're gonna talk about 1 or 2 ratios for each chapter. So this is a very quick reference for you, right? On the back page. So the first one is called financial coverage. Financial coverage ratio. Everybody see it? And that is ratio you can compare to different company. Okay. For example, here you use the example here. 2 company. One is Papa John's. The other one is Pizza Hut or another California Pizza Kitchen. Right? Different company. You can see the ratio here. Financial leverage ratio is average total assets divided by equity. Everybody see this? I want to make sure you find this. Okay. This is the first one we're gonna see. Okay, let me write it down here. So for today, session number 1. At least after this course, at least you memorize balance sheet, income statement, and you can remember 5 elements. Assets equal to liability plus equity. And you know another 2 elements for income statement, that's a revenue and expenses. At least remember those. And more importantly, okay, debit credit mean nothing. Okay, one is on the left, one is on the right. And more importantly, you memorize, because we're gonna use it for the whole semester. Okay, increase for assets, expenses on the left, decrease on the right. For the other three elements, liability, equity, and the revenue is opposite. Increase on the right, decrease on the left. Good enough, okay? On the top of that, if you can remember this, financial leverage ratio, okay? That is the total assets compared to your equity, all right? It's called financial. See, we are keep on using those 5 letters for this semester. A, L, E, R revenue, another E or C cost. We are going to use those 5 letters all the way for this semester. So, why this is important? Why? Anybody can tell me why this is important? why leverage is important. So for those of you who took my real estate class before, during my class before, I talked about leverage. Still remember? This is the same thing, same meaning. What's leverage mean? You use somebody else's money to do your business. That's called leverage. Especially, remember I said, this is the good thing you do business in the United States. In the United States, if you want to open your business, no any law, unless you want to operate insurance company, banking, okay, or any other financial company. Otherwise, there is no any law require your own minimum assets. So better off if you have such ability, you fully use somebody else's money to do your own business. So for example, I told some of you before, say if you want to buy a house, it's a 500,000 price, you want to buy the house, and you know you may be able to just put in 100,000 as a down payment, and you borrow 400 as a loan, and you get a house, right? So this 400 means leverage. You use somebody else's money to do your own business. So this is called financial leverage ratio. So this is good and bad. Always there is good and bad. Okay? When you see this number higher, big number, what does it mean? In our book, one company is 2, one company is 1.5. There's no absolutely good or bad, okay? Doesn't mean 2 is good or 2 is bad, okay? But can you tell me what this number mean? Hold your questions, okay? If the number here is 2, what does 2 tell you? Okay, open up, yes.
That you have twice as much money on hand than you have in stock.
Close enough. Close enough. How about the other? Close enough. Yeah, close enough. When you see number 2, mean yes. The total assets, 1 from liability. They mean 1 from the third party, and 1 from you. That's number 2, right? Because say you have a total $200 in your bank. That's all, right? Then you have a 100 deposit by you, and the other 100 probably like a comparable or loan. If you borrow the money from the bank, line of credit, I just mentioned that at the beginning of today, right? Say if the bank manager calls you, say, hey, Mrs. So-and-so, our company just has this promotion for this week. If you want to open up this $100,000 credit, we'll give you first year no any financial charge, and for the first 6 months, the rate is only 2%, and this is a line of credit. And you apply it, you approve, then you withdraw, say, $10,000, and you owe $10,000 to the bank. Then $10,000 probably is cash in your assets, but you have $10,000 in your. This is not comparable. This is called something payable, loan payable, something else, right? So you have when you see 2, that means equal. You have 1 from your creditor and from yourself. So when this number higher mean what? Say 3. If you see 3 compared to 2 mean what? Simple word. You have higher liability. So in some sense, this is good, right? Because I said you borrow the money from somebody else. You use somebody else's money to do your business. Okay? But what is bad? When this number higher and higher and higher, become 100. Too risky. That means what? That means the owner of this business has no risk. Anybody else bear the risk. So you know maybe fraud involved. It's very motivated for this owner to close the door and run away. You got it? So 2, if the number is 2 or lower than 2, it's good to do the business with this company. But if you are the operator or you are the manager for this company, you are too conservative. You are way too conservative. That really means you use your own money to run business. So for your creditor, it's good because for them it's kind of safe, right? Say 1.5. 1.5 mean what? 1.5. Surrender is 1.5. Ratio is 1.5 mean what? Mean you have a total 300 in the bank, right? And 200 belong to the owner. They only have 1/3 from the creditor. So if you are another creditor, it's safe for you. You know this company is basically run by the owner's money. So as I said, good or bad. The bad thing for 1.5 means you cannot do too much business because you have $200. You only run 300 assets. You borrow so little, you cannot expand too much. But the good thing is for your creditor, they feel much safer. They feel, well, I feel comfortable. I can do business. I can give you. Hey, by the way, if you are the company, you want to approve a new customer coming in 30 days, payment term. That's very common practice, right? And if you see the financial report, the first one is this. Leverage ratio is 100. You say, forget it. We want to do cash deal because you've been 100 already. Got it? Very important indication. And by the way, this number can never lower than 1. Cannot be 0.9. No such number. Right? The number does not make any sense, right? The minimum is 1. 1 means all of your assets come from equity. 0 debt. And that is most conservative. No any other number lower than 1. Got it? Everybody? I want to make sure this is the first number. Okay, the first homework for you, and the homework due 1 week from today. Usually I have a homework due, I give you 8 days. So you just send to, erase it, okay? Send to the email to me, okay? By the way, it's a 5 minutes presentation on YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube account, open it, okay? Learn how to use YouTube, okay, please. That's another thing you're gonna learn from this program. You use YouTube, use Facebook. They are all free, right? Why not use it? But if you really hate that, well, I cannot enforce you. Just do something, okay? Just do something.
So just email you to.
Yeah, give it to you. That's due by June. What's the day? What's the day next Sunday? 26. 26. 26. Because today is 18, right? Yeah, 26. Sunday, 6 p.m. I always set up my policy, okay? To take my course, I want to make it more practical. Practical means after you learn this course, you can use it. You can use it. I don't want to make this course very tough, but I want to use useful, okay? So you just turn in your homework on time and finish your midterm, finish your final project on time, you got A. I'm very fair, okay? I'm very fair. But if you just absent, it's okay. I still give a B, okay? You know this different, right, between A and B. So do your best. Email is Professor. @gmail. Oh, I believe I have a sign sheet around, right? I have my sign sheet circulated somewhere, right? So for those of you who came in late, fill in your name, your contact information, and also please provide me your legal name, the name you use for registration, so I can match the person, with the the name sheet provided to me by the school. So by simply this, I prefer, let me put this way, I prefer you post it on YouTube and post it on Facebook. If you don't want anybody to see it, you just send an email to me. So anybody else see it. Okay? And if you open mind, you want to open out to anybody for discussion, for criticize, it's okay. You know, for discussion, up to you. So it's kind of your choice. Okay, for this week homework, I need your help. Okay, it is on my book, page 91. Page 91.
So the homework is not on the website, but it's something.
Right. Okay.
I saw the one on the website.
Right. I know that. I believe school already posted my old homework there. You can use it. Okay. But if you want to get something new, you don't want to start with that. I have the new one here. So your choice. I really don't care. You just give me something by next Sunday. You only need take one. Take both. You take two is okay. Yeah. It's fine. I do my best. I cannot guarantee. I do my best. Okay. There's on page 91. Eventually 90. Okay. E2-16. Exercise. Chapter 2. I do my best. Well, you use the one posted already or use this one. It's okay. Your choice.
So like you said, I just got accepted. So I just ordered the book. So it's on the way here. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, do me a favor. Okay, you leave me your email or your information. I do my best. I scan it. I email to you.
Okay.
Is that the deal? So
You
yeah.
mean the problem?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I will send it out as a group. Okay, it doesn't matter you have book or not. I just send you the email. You just send the email.
Okay, that.
But do me a favor. Leave me your correctly. Then we can read it.
Using that sheet, right?
Yeah, still something, right? Circulate something, and making sure your handwriting is readable. That's homework. The next one, okay, is for your final project. Final project. Your choice. I do not force you or push you, but this is your opportunity, okay? If you want to do the final project, it's on my page 97. Case and project. Okay, case and project. I will pick out the page 99, CP26. CP mean project, okay? Or anyone you want to pick, okay? For each chapter, there is one section in the back. It's called project, case and project. You just send me the email, and you only need to adopt one, okay? So for each chapter, you say, okay, I'll pick this one. Then you're almost halfway done already for this semester. So pick out your project as early as possible. Okay, as early to make your whole thing easier. Yes. I don't have, let me say it again. For those of you came in late, I will have one in-class quiz. I schedule it for the first session in August. After we have this lecture, then you don't leave. Okay, you sacrifice your lunchtime a little bit. We have a 30 minutes in-class quiz on the August. What's the day of the? Can anybody check? What's the day of the first August?
August 9.
August 9th.
Tuesday?
You sure?
Sorry. First week of Saturday?
Yeah. Makes sense.
August 6th? August 6th. That's the 6th. August 6th.
Yes, August 6.
Yes, we have an in-class quiz. This one amount to your 30% final. Okay, so 30% on this in-class quiz. Usually I give you 2 questions. I just pick up. Okay, and 40% from your final project. So pick out your final project as early as possible. You just send me the email. And that's an individual project, okay? You can discuss with your classmate, no problem, you can have discussion. But when you turn it in, the 15 minutes, minimum 12 minutes, okay? Not more than 15 minutes. Hopefully, I prefer on video, post it on the YouTube, yes.
So did you just want us to pick out one case and talk about it?
Yeah, not necessary chapter 2. Not necessary here. I just recommend you to pick out as early as possible. You can pick out.
We just talk about it and record ourselves for 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me say it again. When I talk about homework will have the same page. So either use this one, or the one school already posted, because they are my old homework from last semester. You can use that one, but you can use this one. I prefer you use this one because I don't want the student to repeat it. Alright? So that is only for convenient reason they already posted. But for my class, I hope I can give you the new one. So you use this one or use the one on the page side is okay. It's okay. But for this one, everybody is on the same page, either this question or the other questions. 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes, not shorter than 3 minutes. Don't give me 30 seconds. It's not commercial, right? So give me at least like a 5 minutes homework presentation, and preferably on the YouTube. But if you really hate it, it's okay. You figure out your own way, okay? But for the final, I really hope this is a video. I really hope for the final. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
5 minutes too?
Yeah. 15 minutes.
15, okay.
Right. Final project. Yeah. Yeah. If you have video right now, usually on your notebook computer, there's a built-in video, right? Okay, I can lend you one video if you want to borrow from me. Yeah. Flip. Okay. So far so good, right? Got clear? Okay. Very briefly, okay, for chapter 3, very briefly. Okay, chapter 3 is a tier account. Okay, I believe Eugene just mentioned that. Okay. And there's one table on the page, it's 119, right, Eugene?
Yes.
You mentioned, right. That table is very helpful. Okay, that table is like this. Okay, I think if you can remember this, good enough. We're gonna use this for the whole semester. We're gonna use it, alright? There's one ratio I want to talk about here. That is, give me a second, I want to see what page is. That is the total assets turnaround. Can anybody tell me the page? Because I just see the back page. Total assets turnaround. 129. Okay, everybody see. Yes, here. 5th edition, page 129. Another ratio. Okay, another ratio. Okay. Total asset turnover ratio. So you know, again here you have total assets, very similar to the first one, very similar. But right now you divide it by different number. Okay, divided by. I'm sorry, upside down. Okay, I should say total sales on the top divided by your total assets. So right now you see we have another element coming in, right? Total 5 elements. Right now we use revenue. Remember, when people say sales, they really mean the number of revenue, right? We have a total revenue divided by your total assets. Total assets.
What is the average?
You mean, okay, I'll answer you. His question is very good. Why is that average? For this class, I don't care about the average. But for the accounting person, they want to be very precisely. Why? Because the assets, the value of the assets change almost every second. Right? Imagine, right? Because you have a sales almost every second, right? So when you have a sales, you have a delivery. When you deliver something, your inventory drop, and your AP, your account receivable go up, and probably every second you have a purchase, right? So eventually for big company, every second the number change, just like you see the stock price. Every second the number change, go up, go down. So that's the reason why for the accounting person, they want to be very precisely. What number you want? You want assets as of what time? We say no, not as of. We say for the whole year. For the whole year, what's the average number? And we have the help from spreadsheet from the software. You can get number anytime. Any moment you punch the key, the average number come out. All right. And the sales is not average, right? Sales by itself is precisely their number. There's no average sales, because when we talk about sales is right now, what's the sales? From the year day one till right now. So total sales divided by your average. Then for this class, I don't care about the word average. We just say total assets. Right? So theoretically, for any business, your whole year sales revenue, theoretically, your sales number should bigger than your total assets. Otherwise, something wrong. For example, I just simplify the whole thing. Okay, you are resale. You are the reseller. Okay, you just purchase one merchandise coming in. You pay $1,000 your cost. And the reason why you want to purchase this merchandise inventory, because you expect you can resell it right away. However, the thing doesn't happen. Merchandise come in sitting there for a whole year, and your sales is zero. So the ratio becomes zero, right? That means your business failed. Your business just failed, right? Should be the opposite. You come in 1,000 merchandise sitting there, and you just want to keep one product line. You say, okay, well, I don't want to make too complicated. I just want to maintain one product line. And you expect you have merchandise coming in, at least you can resell it once a month. So you average assets 1,000. But your total sale is 12 times because you turn over once a month. So you see the number bigger mean better, which is true.
What's the good range?
Say it again.
What's the good range?
A good number, you mean?
Good range, yeah.
Good range?
Yeah.
There's no standard. You compare to industry. Because if you are the owner, you want to keep this number as high as possible, right? However, don't forget that you are not the only supplier on the market. You have your competitor. So how good this number could be, or how high this number could be, really depends on your industry. So when you do the comparison, you don't do apple to orange. You want to compare, say networking to networking, restaurant to restaurant, school to school, for example. Okay, so there's no absolute number there, but you know this number should be larger than 1 anyway. Otherwise, you have trouble. There's no any sense. All right. So at least right now we see, for this semester we will learn 2 things. One is how to do your accounting. At least, if in case sometime you want to apply for your business line of credit, the bank will ask you to provide balance sheet and income statement. Doesn't matter how small, how new your business is. At least, even after the day, you know how to prepare it. Try to do it by yourself. you know, it could be very simple one, but it meet the requirement from the bank. Number one. Number two, after this semester, if you keep a copy of this ratio here, and you can read the financial statement from each company, and you can tell whether or not this is a good company. At least you want to pick out the stock, you want to do some investment, you know how to do it. Alright? This is the basic purpose for this class. Any questions so far? Any questions? So please do remember, okay, you turn in this by this deadline and email to me. Any questions, send email to me. Okay, so far? Don't forget to give me back the your information or sign information. Alright, I'll see you in 2 weeks.